Good afternoon, dear friends. So today we have one very interesting webinar about the Tibetan yogis, and especially about Milarepa, one of the greatest Tibetan yogi. And with us is Denis Dilgo. And I'm happy to have him again in our webinar, and this time as a long-term practitioner of Tibetan Buddhism and having great insight into the teachings of the Tibetan Buddhism and the Tibetan yogis. And so I am also conveying you greetings from the Office of the Ministry of Ayush in Zagreb and ICCR and our ambassador of India in Croatia, His Excellency Raj Kumar Srivastava. He is momentarily not able to join, but he will join towards the end of the session. He promised to join. So now I would like to invite Denis to tell us something about this topic. But before we start, the main speaker actually is one of the greatest Tibetan Lama, which prepared one beautiful lecture and addressing everyone present on this webinar, and his name is Dilgo Khyentse Yangsi Rinpoche. And Dilgo Khyentse Yangsi Rinpoche is the reincarnation of Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, one of the most revered teachers of Vajrayana Buddhism in Tibet of the 20th century. Trulshik Rinpoche, the most senior and accomplished disciple of the previous Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, had numerous dreams and visions that indicated the identity of the incarnation. And later, His Holiness the Dalai Lama confirmed that he is the Tulku of Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. Dilgo Khyentse Yangsi Rinpoche is born in Nepal in a family of renowned teachers and yogis. He received Buddhist education in Bhutan, completed Shedra 9-year philosophical college course, and received all the teachings and empowerments that his predecessors held. He is compassionate, kind, and genuine teacher who has a deep commitment in helping people becoming a good human being, focusing on practice and working with their own mind. He teaches all around the world and expresses great care for everyone who has contact with him. And I was very happy and honored to have contact with him. And from my experience, I can say really that he is authentic and great master of the Tibetan Buddhism and the teachings of the ancient Tibetan lamas and the yogis. And you can see in his speeches everything that he has very great connection with that ancient knowledge and what is impossible for the age that he is about 33 years to gather such a knowledge. So you can see the very depth and all comprehensive knowledge. Whatever question is there, he is giving real teaching according as Padma Sambhava and other great masters of Tibetan Buddhism. So it's a great honor that we will have his speech also in this webinar. But first of all, I would like our dear Denis to give us introduction to the team.
Thank you, Jadranko. First of all, I want to thank once again the Indian Embassy, especially His Excellency Mr. Ambassador Srivastava, for hosting us today. As you said, this is not my first time, so I start to feel home with you here in the Zoom. Hopefully one day we will meet directly with Mr. Per kind request made by our co-host Jadranko today, a month ago or something more. He kindly requested for teaching about figures in Vajrayana Buddhism, to reply to the Jadranko's request, and prepared us an audio to excuse him, because he is very, you can imagine, very taken with his time and traveling around, so he wasn't sure if he here, so he prepared this audio. We followed this audio with a small video presentation just to give you a glimpse of words. I hope this will function well. We prepared this video, which Jadranko will launch after a small introduction. Dilgo Khyentse Yangsi Rinpoche is some of us were very, very happy to be in his vicinity, and it's very important for everybody who meet him to recognize this honesty and direct communication that he has, and we are very, very blessed to have this. I think somebody is getting in with the voice. Maybe if you can shut down mics of everybody. Yes, thank you. Yes, as said, the Rinpoche gives us this teaching about Milarepa, but he also asked me if I can give introduction to this, which I will do, just as a factographic information. Jetson Milarepa, as I said, one of the most revered figures in the beginning of the 11th century in Tibet, and his story is very his life two aspects of life. One is ordinary, and one is very, very extraordinary. Also, for the reason that he was born in a very wealthy family. His father was a very successful, but at his young age, when Milarepa was 7 years old, his father realized that his life is at the end. He called all his family, which was to say that they should, his aunt and uncle should take care of Milarepa and his mother and sister until he's old enough to their wealth and continue his family affairs. This is where all the hardships of Milarepa and his family starts. When the father died, his aunt and that they had with his father, and basically they, as a very young man, he with his mother and sister, which was the side of to accept from the side of his mother, and for many were in very poor conditions, never got anything for what rightfully was theirs. And when Milarepa finally got the, which was the time when his father said that everything should be given to him back, his mother prepared this big feast, and this is one of the very interesting turning points in his. With all they had, they invested everything they had, and this was very little, and invited all the who were the witnesses of the oral testament that his father. This will be enough for the uncle and aunt, or Milarepa's uncle and aunt, to understand that they should give them back what is rightfully theirs. However, this didn't happen. Moreover, his uncle and his mother and his sister, and it was obviously then that this was his mother. And there was a significant word which is written in the Milarepa's biography that his uncle said. He said after that, "You will never get this back. This is magic." And this was kind of like a prophecy in this situation, because after this event, his mother told Milarepa he has to leave. What happened to them? Milarepa, being a good, which he did very successfully, and there was this turning point when he came in order to punish his uncle and those who didn't apply with the wishes of his father. He tore down a building where they were together and killed 35 people, including the sons of his uncle and father, but they stayed alive. Milarepa almost suddenly felt horrible remorse for doing that, and this is where he starts. I don't want to go in detail. Maybe I will say something later, because I don't want to take anything of what Rinpoche has to say on it. Transformation, which I find very interesting also in these nowadays times, where people for an exit. Sometimes we all do bad things, but I think this is there is always a chance to be a better human being, which I think always Rinpoche is saying about. So maybe I suggest now, Jadranko, that you can play the recording, and after that we can comment some more.
Yes, thank you very much, Dennis. And now we'll start with the recording.
So, thank you very much. First, I would like to say that, dear friend Yadaranko had contacted through my very close friend Dennis, and mentioning about this virtual Zoom meeting to discuss about spirituality. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is arranged by the Indian Embassy. Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thank both Dennis and Yataranko to give me this opportunity. I have asked Dennis to share my voice recording here, and then also to give introduction. So first of all, I want to say in my home tongue, Namaste, Namaskar, Subhayatram. Buddham sanam gacchami, Dhammam sanam gacchami, Sangham sanam gacchami. Har Har Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya. So, number one, today Yadarango had asked for me to speak a little bit about Milarepa. So I would like to explain that, first of all, the meaning of yogi is not a title, it's not just some Joke is not like some sort of a fashion cool thing. Yogi is a huge importance. Yogi means the one who is in the path of ultimate renunciation and liberation. We have yogi and yogini, female and male aesthetic practitioners. Unfortunately, for many years, people have misused this name yogi and yogini, and people think that it's some sort of romantic idea to behave like irresponsible and hippie-like. They think that is yogi. Of course not. As I already explained the meaning of the name of yogi, what is discretion. Also, I would say Milarepa was the best example that of Tibet, in his best way, the best version of an aesthetic practitioner, a person who has seen everything of life, the hardship, everything, and to experience the most hardship and turning that hardship and tragedy into inspiration, encouraging him to be in his best version, and later on meeting his root guru, Marpa Lotsa, and Marpa Lotsa's consort, Damema, Nairatma, we say in Sanskrit. So, I don't want to go too much in detail, it gets too complicated, but what I want to say is, Milarepa show his attribution that through all this hardship he went through with Marpa, when Marpa was like beating him, scolding him, humiliating him, not giving him any teachings, but giving teachings to others, and making him build monuments and houses and destroying them down, really testing him, pushing him to the limits and testing him, finally giving him the opportunity to practice a Dhamma and to give him teaching. And Marpa asked, when he finally allowed Mila to join him in the mandala, he said, do you want to take the initiation and teachings from the Guru or from the Idam, deity? Milarepa said, there is nothing beyond the Guru. Guru representing wisdom, innate nature, emptiness, bodhicitta, and ultimate liberation. Guru representing Lama, Yidam, Dakini, everything. No Guru, no teaching, no nothing. So Milarepa said, I would like to receive it from the Guru. So he finally received all the teachings, initiation, pith instructions from Marpa. And a whole life he did retreats. It is said that Milarepa, there was this very beautiful story of Milarepa when he was staying in his cave. There were some thieves and burglars. And they were like coming into Milarepa's cave, and they would say, hey, give me your things, What do you have? And Milarepa said, really, I don't have anything to give you, actually. I really have nothing. I have no objects, mundane objects that you can actually take and make use of. And Milarepa actually felt bad that the robbers and thieves have nothing to rob from him. So he said, rather than this, I will offer you a Dharma song, You can imagine, like anybody nowadays, when our items, our personal belongings get robbed, we get more than angry, We call the police, we do all kinds of things. But Milarepa felt bad. He had no items for the robbers to take. Also, there was another story in Milarepa's life, and he was doing retreats, and you saw Milarepa's body so skinny, so kind of a little bit like bluish color. There was a story, there was 3 girls, young, pretty girls in Tibet. They came across Milarepa, And one of them said, "Oh my God, disgusting. He looked like a demon. He is a ghost." One said, "Disgusting. He is just so sickening. I'd never wish to be like him." But the last one said, "No, wait a minute. He is a realized being. He has renounced all worldly needs. This is incredible, and I wish to be like him." And Milarepa laughed and said, "Ha ha, you people, two of you girls, saying I'm possessed, that I'm discussing that you wish never to be with me. No, sorry, you wish never to become like me." He said, "Well, to become like me, you have to have the determination to be renunciation, detachment, and really indulge into the pure liberation mind, primordial wisdom, and bodhicitta. That you will never be." Ha ha, he laughed. So many incredible stories of Milarepa, but what it does tell all of us is basically when you want to practice the Dharma, the teaching of the Buddha, the principle of the Buddhism, and the view and conduct of Buddhism, and the dignity of a genuine human being, being a true gentleman, and to really inspiring ourselves and pushing us to the limits and being really not lazy and making excuses, really reconnecting into our inner abilities and inner qualities and maintaining that and improving that and increasing that. Also, to make difficult situation and hardship as an inspiration and encouragement to make us a better human being. It's very important that for us to know what is the principle of what do we live for, so to speak. What do we live for? What is our life meaning about? And most importantly, why we do what we do. Does it give us any importances? Does it give us any reason and purposes? Does it make us understand anything special? Also, I want to say that you see, I don't wish to really put too much emphasis on Buddhism right now, because today here in this virtual gathering, I don't know how much are Buddhist practitioners and how much are not. So I don't want to really talk too much about Buddhism, because I come from a Buddhist background. I can be sounding a bit like I'm just pushing forward promoting Buddhism. So I don't wish to give that kind of a feeling to anybody. Let us be practical and neutral and relatable. And I want to say also, we live in a world nowadays that's completely chaotic. And it's like, how to say this, history repeating itself, war, chaos, natural disaster, and pandemics and so forth. And the worst part is human mind becoming it in its worst stage, letting all the beastly mind act upon itself without any dosage of humanity, any dosage of dignity, any dosage of principality, nor kindness, nor remorse, no feeling of anything else, no sensitivity. In this kind of a time, I humbly feel that it's very important that we always remind ourselves, what do we live for? Being a Buddhist person, being a non-Buddhist person, being just a human being, what do we live for? It is easy to say, oh, I don't follow any spirituality. I don't follow Buddhism. I don't follow Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, Islam, Hinduism, Sikh, or whatever. I just try to be a good person and don't harm anybody. That's very easy to say. But can I tell you, that's extremely hard to follow. Everybody wants to live in a bubbly world that you don't realize what you're really talking about. It's very important to practice what you preach, but it's also very important to be realistic about your principle and dignities. And really follow through that. Follow through that. Don't give up. Don't complain and moan about things. Get yourself straight up. Go through life properly. Life is beautiful. Situation in life can be challenging and tricky and difficult. Life is beautiful. Life is amazing. But life is also short. So make the best out of it and live your life to the fullest potential as much as you can. And always important, don't do always things for yourself. Don't be too greedy. Don't try to get away with things. Always remember, if somebody is not watching, then you just do whatever you want, to act like worse than animals and worse than beasts. That's the worst thing. Be voluntarily following the rules of nature, not just rules of a country, rules of United Nations and NATO and whatever the world, but rule simply that nature, Mother Nature has given us. Follow that respectfully, simple as that. I want to share this quote. I don't know who said it, but if I'm wrong, forgive me. It has said, great men bend nature, wise men guide nature. So, I wanted to share this. I hope it's okay. I would like to say, why Buddha Dharma is so important is that because Buddhism, the main point of Buddhism, ideology of Buddhism, it's really about way of life, living your life in the best way, in the most genuine way possible. Acknowledging the part of your human nature, as we say, like we have the dark side of ourselves. Look into it. Don't run away from your pain. Don't run away from the darkness. Look into the face of it. Improve it. Admit it, please. Don't make excuses and run. Escape. And it's very important that we realize when we are lazy, when we are sloppy, when we make excuses and escape, we are becoming worse and worse in every way possible. We say prayers. We make warm wishes. We want to have positive thoughts. We want to smile in joyful contentment. But why do human beings, all of us, always like to indulge and engage and embrace evilness and darkness and stampede and disregard goodness, positivity, and genuineness when it's right in front of us? Remember one thing. We are all born with great genuine quality within us. It is up to us to acknowledge it, to embrace it, to look into it, and to remain in that, and to improve it and increase it, or just to forget it and neglect it and indulge into and jump into the swimming pool of negativity, darkness, and evilness. Devil, and as we say in the Hindi, shaitan means like a devil, you know, demon or devil. Demon, devil don't come with horns and teeth and human flesh and human blood in their mouth. Demon and devil are in our mind. What it is? It is the negative emotions. It is the lust, the negative emotions. It is the aggression, the jealousy, hatred, ego, blindness, self-indulgence in the wrong way. That itself is shaitan. That itself is negativity. Choose wisely in what you decide. All great Mahasiddhas from India, 84 Mahasiddhas of India, Nagarjuna, Virupa, Saraha, Kukureba, Gantapada, all of them, Gorakshanath, great scholars of India, Shantideva, and Atisha, and so forth, Chandrakirti, and so forth. And great masters and yoginis and yogis of Tibet, Serakando, Shuksi Jizun, all of these great masters. Milarepa, Marpa, you know, all had one thing in common. They all remained and recognized the inner genuine quality of a human being. And they remained in that, increased that. They kept their principle, they kept their points. They kept the points of a genuine quality in their heart. Tenderness, gentleness, warmness, purity in their heart. This is what I would like to share today. I don't want to do too much gibberish. Please forgive me. I don't mean to speak out of ego or pride or self-overconfidence. I'm just sharing some thoughts that came in my heart. I hope people understand and bear with me. Forgive me if I say anything wrong. And I hope that you all have a wonderful talk here. I know now Dennis will give introductions, more detail, and I'm sure you all have more talks. Thank you very much. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनम् मृत्यो मुख्यमम् अमृतात्. ओम नमः शिवाय. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadev. Har Har Mahadev. Har Har Mahadev. Jai Shambhu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes. It was a very beautiful lecture from Dilgo Khyentse, Yangsi Rinpoche. And I would like to ask now our dear ambassador of India in Croatia, Raj Kumar Srivastava, to join us and to address this webinar. Maybe he is not yet ready, so we'll see later. Now we can hear from our dear Dennis.
Yes, thank you, Yadranko. We will wait for His Excellency if he comes on. Yes. So yeah, this indeed was a very beautiful teaching from Rinpoche's side. He tried to give a few words of closing up. First of all, please let me say if I say anything wrong and mistaken, not the mistakes of anybody else than my own, and because I'm not really a great expert or scholar on this point, but some ideas that I researched during this preparation for this webinar. So as Rinpoche said, after Milarepa went through this hardship with his teacher, but prior to that, I would like to point he had this great remorse by doing this horrible thing that he did and killed 35 people. I think there was in this house. And started to ask how can he redeem himself, and at some point somebody told him that only the great teacher Marpa. Interesting in his life story and biographies that as he heard the name Marpa, he got skin and felt it right away as a great connection and went out to serve. He found him his real harsh really starts because as Rinpoche said, Marpa was very tough to him, and of course with a great compassion, but all in the sense of also cleaning his previous karma, but also to push him to let go. And finally, when he sensed, there is this beautiful story when Milarepa was covered in showers of working and worn out, and he was already becoming old and tired of building and destroying this teacher Marpa asked him to do. He finally got no teaching, nothing. He was so think that maybe the best thing is that he commits suicide and ended. And it was at this point, as his teacher Marpa gave him his first teachings, with which the karma and his practice realized him fully. And Marpa, in some his teacher, and then Milarepa got fully realized and helped everybody else, including his aunt, became his one of his disciples too. He was totally beyond hatred and love in God. Always some great figures last so long and go through. But the story of Milarepa is probably because, not probably, because it's and what I see today, what this is my personal opinion, what I see, what is very story of Milarepa is that you can regain yourself, you can correct yourself no matter what. And today we see all the, as Rinpoche said, horrible situation that is happening around the world, and stuff. But it's very important that people always know that they are completely free to life in their own hands, and there is always a way out. So this is very inspiring in this story for me, because Milarepa did, it would be condemned for forever, and that would be his demise. But in one lifetime, so this is his true value, and find and read it. And also, what is very famous about Milarepa is the 100,000 realization songs by Milarepa. This is not actually 100,000 songs, but this was a way in Tibet to express a huge a deal of work. No, but these are I read some of these realization songs written by Milarepa, and they are really pit instructions and beautiful, and as a poetry, but also as advices, and you can go through them and feel it, its compassion and its wisdom that he is sharing through these songs. So I don't know what else. Today we will not go with the question and answer, because for sure I'm not the one who can do that, and Rinpoche only a voice recording. So I don't know if Yadranko maybe has to say, add something, or if Mr. Ambassador. Yadranko, are you still there?
Yes, I am here. Yes. So thank you very much, Dennis. It was beautifully prepared from your side. Thank you very much. And great thanks to Dilgo, Khyentse, Yangsi, Rinpoche for sharing his wisdom in a very simple way, easy understandable for everyone, regardless to which tradition we belong, regardless which religion we follow, and regardless of everything, we are just only the human beings. And we are the human beings which needs to live the life according to the real human values. So we need to develop those real human values which are exemplified in such great people which were working on themselves many years, and especially the Tibetan yogis are very famous in that persistence, spending many years in the caves high in the Tibet, not easily reachable, and working with their own mind, purifying it, and coming to the source of their own being, realizing even through their practice, some of the Tibetan yogis realized all their previous lives through which their soul were passing, and gathering all different kind of experiences and purifying all those experiences in the value of what they call in Tibetan Buddhism as dharma. Also in the yogic tradition, the dharma, the path of righteousness, to realize what is righteous. And we saw this presented how much humanity today needs to remember about the value of righteousness in every field of life, and how much they declined from this. And then the people become worse than the behavior, unhuman. So we need to become human and work on us, and persist working under any conditions, and being self-reflective, and finding that inner harmony, that source of inner peace and harmony and goodness, which we can start living. Then if everybody starts doing that, then there is a chance for humanity to become better. Only by some gatherings, as the conferences, speeches, and everything, it's not helping much. What is helping is real transformation. Just a moment. I need to see somebody to switch off the mic because it's some noise. Okay. So what is happening is that each person receives this message from such a great masters like Dilgo, Khyentse, Yangsi, Rinpoche, which everybody can understand, which is very essential to the life itself, for the real reason to find answer why we are living, as he expressed in his lecture, that we question why we are here, what we want from life, why we are living, what is the purpose, because the lifetime is really very short. If you see it pass very quickly, and that we should remind ourselves that our time here on the planet Earth is very short, passing very quickly, and we need to see that we use the time the best possible way. And the best possible way is to always look what I can do better, how I can improve, to be a better person, to be more righteous in my life, to have more peace, to develop more giving nature. As it was said that Milarepa, was not feeling good, that he didn't anything to give to those robbers, what they were searching for. And there are many stories like that. That person used to be transformed while meeting such a great yoga masters. It is one story from the tradition in India. The the person who wrote the Ramayana, that Valmiki was a robber, killing people and robbing in the forest. And he came across the master Narada in the forest. He wanted to rob him, but he didn't had anything with him, what he can take him. Then Narada told him, I will give you something, one mantra, by which you will become even greater killer, more successful in your... And then he said, okay. Then he gave him to sit and repeat mantra Mara, because the Mara is the god of death. Then this was for him very close. And then he sat and repeat Mara, Mara, and then Mara turned into the Rama. So then actually he started repeating Rama, and he got self-realization. And then he got full insight into the life of the Rama. And after he came out from that state of very deep samadhi, then he was writing life story about Ramayana. So this is example how the life, even in this short time, whatever we were doing was maybe not correct, but we have chance every moment to transform our life to the completely opposite. So like this, the Milarepa had also some problematic part of his life. And then how he was treated by his master to reduce his karma. In the bad way he was treating him to get in his, to be able to be transformed and then go in that proper direction. So this is kind of our responsibility in life to whatever hardship comes, it has some reason why it comes. We need to take everything easy in that way and see how to, even through the hardship going as a human being in a positive way, and helping whoever is on our path and doing good. So this is some of my feeling about this theme. And once again, I thank all of you and all present on this webinar. And I think that these words from Dilgo, Khyentse, Yangsi, Rinpoche inspired in everybody that urge for real transformation. As he said, it's important that we are living what we are following. Whatever teaching, some good teaching is there. It's not just enough to understand that teaching or preach, but we need to follow that teaching in everyday life and being a living example of that. So we try to go that way. So thank you very much again. And then we see for the next occasion, for the next webinar. So thank you, Dennis.
Thank you,
for
Jadranko.
helping, organizing, and see you everybody again.
Once again, thank you a great thank you to the Indian Embassy, to His Excellency. And of course, very big thanks to Rinpoche. Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.